Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. If you tried to click the other link for when I was trying to go live, that wasn't working, so I'm sorry I'm a little late. I had a few technical difficulties. So I am excited to show you guys tonight how to properly apply decals to almost anything. I love making decals for everyone, but it's a little tricky to explain how to properly do it to make sure that they last. And so I have a tab on my website on how to do it properly, but it's always nice to get a visual of how to do it. And so with so many questions, I figured I would give you guys a video on how to do it. So if you don't know me, I'm Brianna Faust, the owner and creator behind Prairie Pine Designs, and I plant a pine tree for every sign I sell, but signs aren't the only things that I do. I also love doing decals. So some of you in my group or on the page, follow the page, seen that I have made a few bridal party gifts lately on mugs. So I will show you guys a few of the items that I made personally as well with decals, and then I will show you how to do it yourself. So I am just going to flip you guys here, and hopefully, well, I flipped. I'm sorry. Alright. Please let me know if you can't see. So these are the examples that I showed on my pictures for this video, and then this is for a bride who's getting married and she wanted all her bridesmaids and brides to have a mug. And so this is just vinyl that goes straight onto the mug. And if you do anything with dishware, whether it be mugs, plates, anything of our coffee mugs, or right here I have a Yeti mug that I put my Prairie Pine logo on. Anything like this is not safe to put into the dishwasher. The heat and the pressure of the water will take it off. Like if you accidentally put it in there a couple times, it will be okay, but an ongoing result of that is it will come off. So that's the only downfall about having decals on dishware. So you gotta make sure that you hand wash it. One of my favorite ways to use decals is on Tupperware. So here I have my brown sugar, and I have my sugar as well. So just a fun way. I actually use it on all of our storage bins too. Instead of like tape and a marker, it's a little more fancier way of doing things. So here is an example that I will be showing you guys. I will put it on the other side of this mug here. I want to show you how important it is to make sure that your surface is really clean. I don't know if you guys can all see this or not, but this has a few bubbles in it and a few bumps, and that is a result of not cleaning it. I purposely did that on purpose so I could show you guys how important cleaning your surface is before putting on your decal. And what I like to use is actually right here, baby wipes. They're super handy. I always have them on hand with having a toddler run around, but if you don't have baby wipes, alcohol wipes or soap and water work great. If you're putting a decal on a window of some sort, like a storefront or your vehicle, I highly suggest using baby wipes or alcohol wipes or soap and water. Do not use Windex, because a lot of times that leaves a residue behind and that can result in peeling. So I don't want your decals to peel. So I just take my baby wipe and make sure it is all nice and clean. Now that that's clean, I'll just take a dry rag. And use a cloth rag, because if you use a paper towel, that likes to leave fibers behind. So now your surface is nice and clean. So you'll take your decal, and this has what's called transfer tape on top of it, and that's what, this is your paper backing that it was cut on, and then your transfer tape. So what I have, I actually use a vinyl squeegee. I have one, but a lot of people don't. A credit card or a debit card works fantastic. You just take your card and you press out. So I always start from the center the middle. I'll try and move you guys a little bit here so you can see. So I always start from the middle of my decal and work my way out. And you want to make sure that it doesn't have any bubbles whatsoever. If you have any bubbles, it'll result in like what I have here. There's a little bubble and some spots. So you want to make sure that you get all of that out. And I pressed this pretty good already and prepped for this video, but it might take a minute or two, and you just want to make sure that it is nice and I always make sure I'm moving out. I never move toward me like this because that can result in tearing and ripping. So you want to be gentle and work your way out. So now that I have that done, I'm going to take my surface and try and visualize the surface or the center. So I want it about right there. A lot of times if I'm working with bigger decals, like a storefront decal, I do take out my measuring tape, measure the center and mark it. Mark the tape with a highlighter or a marker. Dry erase marker works great because then you can mark the window as well and then wipe it off when you're done. So you find the center of everything and then you can line it up. When I'm using a cup or something, I'm not as picky. I eyeball it very well because trying to mark it on a curved surface is really difficult. So then you flip it over and you take the backing of your vinyl off. And then you want to take it off slowly, start at one corner, and then move the backing off as close to the surface as you can. You just don't want to pull it up and rip it off. So that is all off. So now I know that I want it about right here. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to put the bottom down first. And then I'm going to slowly work my way out, up and out, to make sure that there's no bubbles. If you just try and put the whole vinyl decal down at once, you'll get wrinkles and bubbles. So you want to start either at the very top, very bottom, or one of the sides. You just don't want to do the whole thing. Using your thumb and your nail work great. And then after I'm done with this, I will go over it with this, which if you have to use a credit card, that is perfectly fine. So you just go over it, making sure there's no bubbles. And if you do happen to have a bubble, it's not the end of the world. What you can do is take like a sewing needle or a pin or anything with a very fine point. I even use this. This is what I use a lot of times. It's like a dental pick. And you poke a small hole in that bubble and it'll let the air out. So now that I have the decal on, I'm going to start at one of the corners again and slowly take it off. I'm going to move it, actually I'm going to start at this corner, as close to the surface as possible. See, yeah, that corner didn't get quite on there, so I'm going to press that some more. Well, I'm going to try it at this end and see. You want to go slow and gentle. And then I can see that I have a little bit came up right there. So I'm just going to press that down with my fingers. And there you have it, your decal. So I'm going to flip you guys up again. Oh. Sorry, my stand just fell on me. There we go. See if I can get you guys straightened out here. Having all kinds of problems tonight. There we go. So, there we go. We finally have our decal on our mug. So, yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. If you guys have any questions, definitely ask in the comment section. I can let you know. I know I have a lot of requests for car windows, and obviously I didn't show you guys that tonight. The same process applies. The only thing different with car windows is that some back windows have those little lines that go all up the rear window. And that can affect your vinyl if you do put that on that, because your vinyl then isn't exactly straight against your glass. So it may come up, like it might be fine for a while, but this type of vinyl is good for 6 to 7 years. Like that's the guarantee on it. So if you have it on a car with those lines, I don't know what to call them, but hopefully you know what I mean. They'll peel up a lot easier, but it should hold up to the elements outside, like the rain and snow and stuff. That's what this stuff is made for, but it isn't very good to put in the washer, like I mentioned earlier, the dishwasher, like I mentioned earlier before, because the heat and the pressure of the dishwasher can peel this up, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. It also isn't very recommended to put it in the microwave, but I always am microwaving my coffee because I can never drink it fast enough. It always gets cold on me. It's not going to hurt it very much. Over time, you might see it come off, and that could be the reason why. I always microwave it, and it's usually just fine. So you might see that somewhere else online recommending that, and you can do it. It's not a problem, I don't think. So that is how you do decals. And so I wanted to give you guys a little giveaway. If you share this video, I will put your name in a drawing for everyone that shares this video, and I will give away a 10 inch by 10 inch decal. And if you don't want a decal that large, you can have a lot of small ones in that same dimension. So if you just want your name or your daughter or son's names for his cups and bottles. I know that's what I did for my son. I vinyled his name on a lot of things to label his name on a bunch of stuff. And for like gifts, it works great for, I know these Yetis are pretty popular for gifts. I just put my decal on here, but a lot of people like to personalize their own cups. So if you share this video, I will pick a winner this weekend sometime, probably Sunday. So I'll give you guys some time to share, and I will get back to the winner, and we can create a custom design, or you can just let me know what you want and I will create it for you. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will hopefully see you guys next time for my next live. Have a good night.